Hello, I'm Pete Gallivan, and welcome to News to Celebrate, where we shine a light on the people making Western New York proud. This week, the inspiring legacy of a Buffalo-born Olympian whose legacy still lives on. Come with us to a spot that honors many of the spirits of Niagara Falls history, and a hometown paramedic is recognized with the Stars of Life Award for his life-saving care right here in Western New York. Those stories and more coming up on News to Celebrate.
My mother always said, I think he's got it in his blood.
AMR paramedic Douglas Milks has served the people of Western New York.
I think that's just the way I was built.
For nearly 40 years.
There's a no failure option in the way I operate. It's a code.
So whenever the call came, Milks made sure it was answered, no matter the conditions.
The berm of snow was probably 2 or 3 feet at the end of the driveway. So we had to hoof it in. We had to grab our equipment and go on. I go upstairs and I see a guy that is in immediate need of medical treatment. I look out the bedroom window and I happen to see the fire department, Good Samaritans, police officers, shoveling and plowing. They were able enough to get an ambulance in there.
Although the patient later passed away, his wife, who was there, wrote a letter explaining how Milks brought comfort and hope in her husband's final moments.
We had to give her some kind of hope, and that's what we did. And I also think about her, the courage it took for her to write that letter. She had to relive the worst day of her life, run it through her head, and put it on paper. That's pretty courageous.
A letter earning Milks one of the highest honors in the nation in emergency medical services.
I'm a humble guy. It's very overwhelming for me.
It's called the Stars of Life Award, recognizing those who go above and beyond, providing care, compassion, and so much more to the people they serve.
Police, fire, paramedics, our other care partners, they all do the same thing every day. They're all trying to do the best they can. If I got awards, accolades, congratulations, anything good I might have got in my life, it belongs to them just as much as it belongs to me.
In his 30-plus years as a priest, Father Bill Quinlivan has served in several parishes, sometimes delivering a dose of humor in his homilies.
It's funny because people will say to me sometimes when I attempt humor, what are you, a comedian? And I said, no, but I was a professional comedy writer.
Turns out, years ago, he would submit jokes to the late comedian Joan Rivers in exchange for the princely sum of a sawbuck for each one she used. And for a period of time in the late 1980s, he ended up selling roughly 24 of them. That part of the story is reflected in some faded papers he keeps with the jokes she used and others she didn't.
One of my jokes was, I saw Boy George's car drive in Beverly Hills. I knew it was his. There was mascara on the windshield wipers. My favorite country singer is Crystal Gale, but I'd never eat dinner at her house. Imagine finding a hair in your soup. 6 was the most I sold in one batch. That was a good year.
To Joan Rivers.
To Joan Rivers.
Did you ever sell jokes to anyone else?
Nope.
So why Rivers? Well, he was a fan.
Because I had been watching her for years, that was pretty easy to do, because I could hear her voice in my head, because I had heard her many times.
But to quote Rivers, can we talk here? Joan Rivers seems a little bawdy for the humor of a priest.
I like to tell people, my having written sold jokes to Joan Rivers is either my claim to fame or shame, depending on what you think of Joan Rivers.
Truth is, he hadn't become a priest yet, and besides, though Rivers could be raunchy,
I didn't write any of those jokes. Right. So even back then, I was pretty much a goody two-shoes, so I wrote kind of cleaner jokes for her.
He did end up meeting Rivers when she came to Shays, and he was in the seminary, and he got a congratulatory telegram from her when he graduated. His funny bone was stirred again when he heard about the exhibit at the Comedy Center.
So my family, my siblings and I are making a pilgrimage to the Comedy Center in November. And I'm going to bring some of my copies of the jokes. I'm hoping someone will let me open the drawers. What I saw online is they have a plexiglass shield in front of it, but I'm hoping someone will either let me or they'll go back and they'll look in the catalog and maybe pull out the cards from some of the jokes I sold. That would be a kick.
It's amazing. We talked about this, Andre. It's sort of competing mediums here, because for TV I want to fill up the rectangle with visuals, but the artist wanted to sort of immerse you and immerse herself in her work.
Yeah, so you really have to come here to experience
Yes!
it, because you are floor to ceiling, walls, everything is just completely covered here in dots. And until you're standing in this space and actually talking to someone and like seeing the dots floating behind their head, you don't really understand how crazy it feels to be in here.
We got to talk about the giant pumpkin in the room.
Yeah, we probably should.
Tell me about, I guess, the overall purpose of this room, the experience she wants you to have?
Yeah, so this pumpkin, it's one of many pumpkins that Kusama has made over her life. She has always had this sort of fixation on the pumpkin as an object that stands maybe for all of the people in the universe, all of the stars in the universe, and celebrating their uniqueness.
Yeah, they all have the same. We all know a pumpkin when we see one, but they're all different.
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. But then she covers them in these dots and then has those dots sort of spill out onto the floor and onto the ceiling and all over the room. And then you can maybe self-obliterate, maybe release yourself of your ego and imagine maybe there are some dots on my body. Maybe I am part of the space with the pumpkin.
I love it. Sort of lose yourself in the work. And then when I was a kid, the mirrored room was my favorite thing at the Albright Knox.
That's right. Yeah.
And now at the Buffalo AKG, some more mirrored rooms, courtesy Kusama.
That's right. Yeah. You know, it really is. Contemporary art has for so long been about really getting you out of your comfort zone and getting you into your body and thinking about your physical experience. And that's what we're seeing now with some artworks that are from the 60s and artworks that are from the 2010s in this exhibition.
But it's very Instagrammable too, right?
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Which is right up Kusama's alley too. This is a great exhibit. It is a timed ticket. And this outstanding sprawling exhibit is here in the beautiful new building, by the way, till early March. There is also this weekend Bewitched. So after the kids have their fun, Halloween night, November 1st, a costume party here. So for more information on this exhibit or for this Saturday's event, the website is buffaloakg.org. On your side in Buffalo, I'm Kevin O'Neill, Channel 2 News.
It's been life-changing for me. They have changed me.
7 years ago, Emily Monshine kickstarted work on Gigi's Playhouse in Buffalo, a place for those with Down syndrome to meet, attend classes, and have fun.
A small group of us got together, and here we are, 5 years later, 20 programs growing every day. I'm really, really glad that this community has just really embraced us.
A third-grade teacher, Monshine said she was not originally called to working with those who have intellectual differences. But 10 years ago, that all changed.
When I had my second son, I learned at around 14 weeks that he would be born with Down syndrome. We did the non-invasive prenatal testing.
Scared and without much support, she grieved the life she thought her son would have.
It was really kind of dark and sad and not supportive and discriminatory, the information that I received during that time.
She says she now believes that he was meant to come into her life to show her her true purpose.
What he did for me was opened up a doorway to this whole community of people that I wasn't really connected with before him.
Her advocacy extends past Gigi's as well. Monshine helped get the Down Syndrome Awareness Bill passed in the state of New York.
10 years later, after that horrible prenatal diagnosis, we passed legislation in the state of New York that ensures that clinicians provide up-to-date current education and information around a diagnosis of Down syndrome.
She wanted to support women who are in a situation just like she was.
You just Google it online and you just see woman after woman talking about how ill supported they were during their pregnancy. So it was a long overdue thing that needed to happen.
As for what's next, Monshine is focused on her work to make the world a better place for her son and all those with Down syndrome.
I always make sure what I'm doing is for people with Down syndrome. That's it. And the rest just will fall into place wherever I'm meant to go next. If it's to stay here, it's to go elsewhere, do something else. I'm just dedicated to serving this community in whatever way that ends up being.
Here we are the day before Halloween, and this former funeral home is now, I shouldn't say now, it's for 9 years now, coming up on 10 years for Undergrounds. They leaned into the theme of nothing morbid, nothing sad. You're just sort of
celebrating.
It's a celebration of those that came before us.
Yeah.
A common theme, even like the mug wall.
Yeah.
It's pretty great. How's business, by the way?
Business is great. You know, we have really great customers. They show up for us. We love it.
You're an old First Ward resident.
Yeah, I'm 6th generation old First Ward.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't need a coffee shop.
Yeah, we haven't had one my whole life.
Right,
Yeah.
and the community's got to be thankful for that.
Yeah, we get to do a lot of stuff with the community for the community center, so it's really fun.
You must have there's a lot of people that came here for the building's former purpose as well.
Yeah, unfortunately for them.
So
they didn't get to leave.
You're a creative person, you're in
Yeah.
charge of the advertising and the logo and everything like that, so you sort of leaned into the theme.
Yeah, for sure. My business partner designed our menu, so all our sandwiches are named after dead people that are either connected to coffee or buffalo, and so she did a really good job in tying in like the ingredients to the person. And then we have like our white light blends, so like when you die, you go towards the white light in
neat.
heaven. Yeah. So those are mostly named for notable females. We have the Notorious RGB. We have Thank You for Being a Blend. That's all the Golden Girls.
Thank you for being a blend.
Yeah.
I love it. And can you talk about the mug wall as well? Because I've never seen Nikola Tesla next to Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah. So the Mug Club is, you can join, you can be a member. And
Okay.
so you join and we say if you could have coffee with one deceased person that's like notable, who would it be? And then you get to pick, as long as they're not taken. Each mug is unique. Each person is unique. And so those are made by a local ceramic artist, Jody Seelan. And then your mug can live here at the shop, or you can take it home with you and enjoy your coffee every day. So we have over 200 club members now. You get a free pound of coffee a year, 15% off all your purchases. And it's really fun. Like when customers are waiting for their order, they try and figure out who's on the mugs. And
yeah, and they're all identified too. If people,
Yeah.
But ultimately, the secret to your success is the coffee.
Yeah, I think so. We put a lot of love into our coffee. Fresh is best. Trying to work with direct farm relationships is something that's really important to us. That's taken a bit more time, like learning the industry and getting to meet people and so gotten to go to some coffee farms and work directly with those farmers now, which is really cool. But yeah, fresh is best for coffee.
Yeah, she's back from Colombia here. And what's the website? I'm so sorry. Do you know?
It's undergroundscoffeebuffalo.com.
Okay, you better know it.
Yeah.
She designs it, for goodness sake. Underground's coffeebuffalo.com. On your side from the Old First Ward, I'm Kevin O'Neill, Channel 2 News.
When Dr. Drusy Borowitz came to Buffalo in 1988, cystic fibrosis was considered a devastating diagnosis.
It's a disease that causes mucus to be thick in the lungs and in the digestive system. And in the bad old days, people died in childhood or young adulthood. But we have developed a drug that has dramatically changed the course of CF.
Her work has made her known internationally in the CF circles, but it all started here at home. For more than 25 years, Dr. Borowitz led the Cystic Fibrosis Care Center in Western New York and even enrolled the first subject in a landmark drug trial. And that paved the way for the development of the drug combination known as ETI, which now allows more than 93% of people living with cystic fibrosis to live longer, healthier lives.
But that means 7% of people cannot take this drug. So could you imagine if you were drowning and everyone else got a lifeboat but you didn't? And that's why we have to keep working.
Working to find a cure for CF patients like Brianna DeWitt, who says Dr. Borowitz has given her hope.
Well, obviously she's brilliant, but really it's like the connection that she makes with her patients. So she's seen me through all these different life milestones, and it feels just like an extension of my family.
Dr. Bob Bell, former president and CEO of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, says Dr. Borowitz's leadership has made an impact far beyond Buffalo.
And not only on our foundation in the United States, but worldwide in terms of the care practices that she helped to develop. And so it was that combination of competency and compassion that made her so unique in what she was able to do.
There was this incredible increase in lung function.
Dr. Borowitz says the progress is remarkable and deeply personal.
I truly feel blessed to have been a part of this. People go into medicine because you want to see people who have chronic problems be healthier. This is absolutely amazing.
Now retired, she continues to help advance research and remains humble about the honor she's receiving this year from the Western New York Cystic Fibrosis Foundation.
And I'm really pleased to be honored by them, but I hate being the center of attention. It's a team sport. There is no one person that can take all of the credit, so I'm taking the credit for the team.
From her pioneering research to her compassionate care, Dr. Drusy Borowitz has helped turn hope into reality for thousands of families. Truly one of the selfless among us. Melissa Holmes, Channel 2 News.
At West Her Chevrolet in Williamsville, you'll find trucks, cars, and just about everything on 4 wheels.
I just want to ride around the parking lot.
But today,
it's so much fun. Like, I enjoy it.
It's 3 wheels.
Incredible. Like, I didn't want to give mine up.
Making the difference.
I saw the results of the first group of chairs we gave, and I saw you riding in the Ride for Roswell.
That freedom of people being able to do these activities is beyond words.
A donation of 10 hand cycles, powered by a rider's arms, to Greater Buffalo Adaptive Sports.
It allows us to, give anybody that's looking to get out and enjoy bike riding. We now have the opportunity with the number of bikes we now have.
Without organizations like Greater Buffalo Adaptive Sports and donations from Scott Beeler and West Her, what would we be doing? We wouldn't have the support we do. We wouldn't have the opportunities we do.
On your side, Courtney Courtwright, Channel 2 News.
To hockey now, and the Buffalo Sabres are giving back to the community. Members of the team stopped by Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Center today to have some Halloween fun with the pediatric patients. Event organizers say it's a chance for players to connect with the kids through activities like face painting, cookie decorating, even wrap a saber like a mummy.
So as you can see behind me, there's lots of chaos, lots of fun, and lots of smiles to be had.
I just think, there's a lot of people going through a lot tougher things than, we go through on a daily basis. So if they're fans or even if they're not, it's nice to, try to spread a little bit of happiness and smiles throughout the hospital.
This is all leading up to Hockey Fights Cancer Night at KeyBank Center, which is coming up this Saturday. Tickets are still available. Puck drop, 7 p.m. Local organization Senior Wishes is giving back to our veterans ahead of the Veterans Day holiday this November. They are handing out hero boxes to those who have served today. 8 Purple Heart veterans from the Vietnam War had their boxes delivered to them. They are filled with things like a hat, blanket, books, and games. Organizers say it's a simple way to say thanks for their service.
What it means to us is that we've got the camaraderie among us as combat wounded veterans. We don't have to talk about our experiences because we just know. If you were there, we don't have to tell you about it. If you weren't there, there aren't enough words to explain what it was like.
More hero boxes will be given out in places like Lockport, Williamsville, Gasport, Batavia, and Wheatfield.
Well, turning to the Buffalo Bills, it was a snow day at the Aquarium of Niagara thanks to offensive lineman Dion Dawkins and his foundation, Dion's Dreamers. Dawkins hosted 18 kindergarten students from the Charter School for Applied Technologies for a special field trip filled with fun and learning. He says the event was all about family, community, and giving kids a day to remember.
I have 3 kids. I have a 5, a 4, and a 3-year-old. And I know that just getting out and sometimes just being like outside and not in the classroom or not being in front of the iPad, you just need a little bit of spark. And this is just something, and who doesn't want to come outside for a snow day? It was in school, field trips were some of the coolest things. And to be able to give kids field trips under snow and under the Dreamers, I think it's pretty cool.
Well, the students enjoyed a Bills-themed experience, complete with turtle encounters, sea lion training, and hands-on art projects. This was Dawkins' 3rd Snow Day event.
Buffalo City and Erie County leaders are celebrating the completion of the first homes under the Joint Infill Housing Program. That is a $24 million initiative aimed at revitalizing neighborhoods and expanding affordable home ownership. A ribbon cutting was held today in the Black Rock neighborhood, marking the first of 12 new homes that are now ready for purchase.
This program shows what's possible when local partners share one mission
turning long vacant lots into high-quality, energy-efficient homes for working families.
The cost of these homes start at $198,000 and go up to about $250,000. Applications for the lottery to buy one opens next week. The project's second phase, with 30 additional homes planned in East Buffalo, is set to begin construction early next year.
November is Native American History Month, and a piece of Niagara Falls history is getting a little extra attention right now. The Friends of the Niagara Turtle are working hard to restore and preserve the Native American Center for the Living Arts. They were in the Two on Your Side studio earlier today to share some details about why this building, known as the Turtle, is so important.
So this is our ancestral homeland. We're Mohawk, and this is our region. So for us, it's very important to get this building reopened, not only for today's generation, but for the future generations to come. We like to think 7 generations into the future, and it's very important that the 7 generations down has a community cultural hub to gather in.
Yeah, the building has been recognized now as a National American Indian Heritage Site, and it stands as a symbol of indigenous culture and creativity here in Western New York.
New tonight, live at 5, a new restaurant is now open for business at the Buffalo Niagara International Airport, and this one is before you get to security. Satterfield's cut the ribbon today on its new space. Officials say that this new venue will honor the legacy of the airport, John Satterfield. It also celebrates Buffalo's history of aviation.
Space is welcoming to travelers and locals, both coming and going, as you can see. And you know, the menu is curated by our talented chef, Mike Conway. It has some local favorite items, such as some flatbreads, some salads and sandwiches and things of that nature. But it also has beer to go. As we know, this is a craft beer city, and so we have a beer cooler to go, so you can grab a 6-pack of your favorite local craft on your way.
The new bar and lounge is opening just ahead of the airport's centennial celebration, which is happening in 2026.
Today we are 18.5 acres, 22,000 souls rest here.
Since 1852, Oakwood Cemetery has been a final resting place for the who's who of Niagara Falls, sitting on land donated by one of the founding families of the region, the Porters. Today, it's a place where people come to take in the peace, the quiet, and of course, the history.
We have events, we have all kinds of tours here, including our flagship Daredevil tour.
Annette Baumgarten is the president of the Oakwood Cemetery Heritage Foundation, and she says the Daredevil section is one of the most visited because it reflects a period of time when the falls began to attract visitors from around the world.
Where people are, that's where opportunity is.
And for many, that opportunity was to create a spectacle around this wonder of the world.
You had the tightrope walkers, you had going over the falls, you had daring the rapids, you had all kinds of stuff going on here.
And that stuff created celebrity. One of the biggest names at the time was Carlisle Graham, who rode the rapids in a barrel.
Carlisle Graham, who's resting next to our Grand Dam, Annie Edson Taylor, made his living as a daredevil here and actually retired. He was really successful.
Annie Edson Taylor was also drawn to the falls by opportunity.
She was a spunky lady. It was 1901. Pan Am's in town. She was 63. She had very limited resources. She was a widow. What's she going to do for money? She was a retired teacher. What's she going to do? So she's like, I have an idea. So she picked Carlisle Graham's brain on how to make a barrel. She didn't make it with her own 2 hands, but she designed the whole thing. And she pulled off the stunt and lived to tell the tale.
And what a tale it was, becoming not only the first woman to go over the falls in a barrel, but the first person to ever accomplish the feat. She had trouble monetizing her success, though, and had an unscrupulous business manager. She ultimately died a pauper, but her story still draws a crowd in her afterlife, among many of the giants of Niagara Falls history.
Besides daredevils, of course, which Niagara Falls is really known for, we have military leaders, we have captains of industry, we have entertainers here.
And that's what makes Western New York shine. Thanks for joining us for News to Celebrate, where every week we share the good news happening right here at home.